Hello and welcome to Walking the Weird. Thank you for joining me for another one of my walks. Today I am in beautiful Wiltshire and I've come to have a look around the Stourhead estate. We'll be starting with Stourhead Gardens and Stourhead House and then moving along through the estate until we finally end up in Somerset at King Alfred's Tower. So come with me and let's see what this beautiful place has to offer. Stourhead House was built by Henry Hoare I in 1717 in a Palladian style inspired by Henry's travels around Europe. In 1741, after the death of Henry Hoare and his wife Jane, the house was inherited by their son, also called Henry or Henry the Magnificent. Henry Hoare II had a love of paintings and sculptures, and this was reflected in the many incredible pieces of art that he added to Stourhead House and the surrounding 2,650-acre estate. Henry's vision was to create a classical landscape inspired by his hopes and beliefs of the world and his journey through it. As well as a garden rich in flora and fauna, Henry the Magnificent created a number of temples dedicated to the gods of Rome. Described as a living work of art, Stourhead transforms the visitor straight back into the 18th century in style. A beautiful church. Looks like Christmas. Beautiful church of St Peter's dates to the late 13th century, with the nave, chancel and tower being built in 1291. The north aisle was added by the 5th Lord Stourton in the early 15th century. He and his family are buried in a vault underneath the church. Inside the church, Edward VI, Lord Stourton, and his wife are buried in ornate marble tomb chests as seen here. In 1717, when the Hoare family purchased the entire estate, Henry Hoare made significant improvements to the church, which had fallen into a state of disarray. The Hoare family remained important beneficiaries of the church, and their family vault can be seen in the church and also in the cemetery. So stunning, isn't it? This is like picture perfect Gothic Dickensian cemetery. Look at this. Let's have a look at this. Oh, obituary. Beneath
this vault are interned the bodies of, there's a few people there. Ah, yes, the Hall family, of course, all the different generations here. All looks like they all died in the 17th century. So this must be their family vault.
This is the Bristol High Cross, which stood in the centre of Bristol from 1373, but in 1733, as Bristol grew busier, it was declared an obstruction to traffic. After many years in storage, Henry the Magnificent was gifted the cross and he brought it to his estate at Stourhead, where he had it re-erected in 1765.
Look at this beautiful lake. Wow. I think that's Canadian geese. So, an uphill walk here, hopefully up to the temple that's at the top. Another grotto. This one with a handy bench. Oh, that's a nice view. Here we are, the Temple of Apollo, aptly catching some of the morning sun, seeing that Apollo was a sun god. This is magnificent. Beautifully catches the sun. Ideal for a temple to the sun god. Wow. What a view. I'm so pleased there's still a little bit of autumn colour left. I didn't think there would be much. So just coming into sight now, we've got the Pantheon, another Palladian-style dedication.
Inspired by the Pantheon in Rome, the Pantheon at Stourhead was built in 1753. It was created as a dedication to all of the gods and includes marble sculptures, including Hercules, Diana, and Flora.
not sure if the camera will pick this up, but the water is sparkling. It's absolutely beautiful. And we have another grotto, I think. Oh, just an arch. Is the grotto.
The grotto was added to the garden as a place to cool off during the summer months. Built with pebbles and flint, this dome-shaped cavern has been inspired by mythical creatures such as the water nymph. An inscription reads, "Nymph of the grot, these sacred springs I keep, and to the murmur of these waters sleep. Ah, spare my slumbers, gently tread the cave, and drink in silence, or in silence lave." Upon exit is a marble dedication to the sea god Neptune, sat upon the waters flowing from the spring.
Well, the English aristocracy certainly knew how to live, didn't they? It's muddy. I'm now moving away from Stourhead Gardens and I'm heading towards St Peter's Pump and also King Alfred's Tower. Isn't this beautiful? So this is part of the wider Stourhead estate, and just behind those trees, hopefully you can see, there is the Obelisk, which we'll be heading to. Okay, so we're just going off path here to go and have a look at the Obelisk, which has been styled, I read, in an Egyptian style, similar to the ones at Kingston Lacey. It's clearly, again, something that inspired the people of the 18th century. So there is Stourhead House, and then up here is the Obelisk. It's remarkable. Built in 1746 as an Egyptian symbol of the ever-shining sun, which is quite apt for today. And there is like a sun, a metal sun on the very top, but it's very hard to see. I keep walking backwards and try not to fall over. I might be able to show you. Ah, there we go, she's coming into view now. Let's zoom on in. There it is, little sunny face. I just read as well that it's been restored twice. Once it just simply crumbled away over time and became damaged, and then it also has been struck by lightning at one point. I think that's what this metal bit is for. I think it's conductor. Stop that from happening again. How grand though, just got an obelisk in your back garden, you know. So there we are, that's the obelisk. So now we move on, and I'm hoping we're going to come across St Peter's Pump next, which is the nominal source of the River Stour. was wondering then if it's actually haunted around here. I did look online, but I couldn't see much evidence that it was. But if you lived most of your life here and you loved it and you created it, surely when you passed the other side, this is where you would want to be. And that's a theory I have around the paranormal about, you know, people go to places where people lost their lives looking for evidence of the paranormal, but if you have choice, if you wouldn't really want to hang out at the place of trauma where you lost your life, surely you'd want to go to the places where you were happy. Thoughts? And then there are other theories, of course, that hauntings are sort of recordings of what happened before, kind of like a replay, sort of trapped in time, maybe a time slip or something.
St Peter's Pump was constructed over a spring here at Stourhead by Henry Hoare in 1768. It formerly stood near St Peter's Church in Bristol, but, like the Bristol High Cross, it was relocated to Stourhead by Henry Hoare, fitting in nicely with his Gothic style aesthetics.
I'm in the woods. I've just been uphill and I'm heading to Alfred's Tower. I was wondering if I'd got lost, but so far so good. Here we are at King Alfred's Tower. We've made it. So it's built in 1760 by, of course, Henry Hoare, and it was to commemorate three different things. So the end of the 7 Years' War against France, the accession of King George III, and it's also erected near the site of Egbertstone, which is where it's believed that Alfred the Great, the King of Wessex, the Anglo-Saxon king, rallied his troops in 878 before the Battle of Edington in nearby Wiltshire. And that battle was where King Alfred famously defeated the Danish army, the Great Heathen Army, led by Guthrum the Old. And Guthrum was told by King Alfred of Wessex that he had to denounce his heathen ways and his old gods in favour of the one Christian God. And of course Guthrum did, he obliged, although whether he actually meant it or took it seriously is another matter. And it was a great win for King Alfred. It is 161 foot tall and it's triangular in shape. Maybe the three sides to it represent the three different reasons that it was built by Henry Hoare. And there's a great statue of King Alfred on there, which we'll have a look at when we get closer. Okay, so this strange object that we have here is called the vinegar stone or the plague stone. So during the plague, vinegar was put into the well in the centre, like a little bowl, and money for goods and any change that was needed during sales was placed in the vinegar to act as a disinfectant and to prevent the spread of the plague. All you needed was a bit of vinegar, apparently. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today in Wiltshire at Stourhead. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at all the different things we've seen, from the house and the gardens to King Alfred's Tower here in Somerset. So If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do consider doing so. I'd also like to quickly say a massive welcome and thank you to all 400 subscribers. Like, how has that happened? But you're also welcome here, and I'm really grateful to each and every one of you, old and new. So thanks again, and I'll see you on the next Weird Walk.